With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back. The sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Operators, start earning points with Lamb Weston's all-new Potato Perks app. Simply download the app and start earning points immediately. And right now, as a bonus, get 500 points free just for registering, plus a product rebate up to $100. Redeem your points for goods for your business, like back-of-house smallwares, custom marketing materials, and more. Register today and get your free 500 points and a rebate up to $100. Visit go.lambweston.com/potato perks to download.
Update on the dude who killed the 4 college students in Idaho. Look at him. Look at this guy. He looks like the type of dude who is, starting to experience the effects of Lou Gehrig's disease. Where you're all head and you're from the neck down, your body's starting to fall apart. I don't know how he managed to kill 4 young, healthy college students. This fucking pipsqueak. But he did. There was an extradition hearing today to get this fucker from Pennsylvania to Idaho to begin the proceedings to potentially bring him to justice. Brian Koberger. We talked yesterday how he has been in the criminal justice criminology field and was working on some like a PhD. One of his professors knows BTK very, very well and has communicated with him over the years. She speaks on a lot of podcasts and true crime shows about the nature of the beast of someone like Dennis Rader, BTK. So there is kind of a strange connection to a serial killer. One of the ways sometime investigators, when they're trying to match up if there's any connection to a murder victim with DNA left behind to a potential bad person who they suspect did it, you try to get a DNA sample. And sometimes investigators, when they're figuring out who is who and what's what, without tipping off the bad guy, they might stalk them, see where they go, wait for them to take a swig of coffee out of a cup, throw the cup away, fish the cup out of the garbage, try to salvage any DNA that is on the cup to match to DNA at the crime scene. That happens. And this dude, Brian Koberger, investigators think he was well aware of that and was being very, very careful as he went about his life for the several weeks after the attack and the death of these 4 students. There's very little information that has come out about this. However, there is one that the Daily Mail is running with. The man accused of these slayings was allegedly stalking them in the weeks leading up to the murders and wore gloves in public places after the killings. Koberger was fastidious about not leaving his fingerprints behind after the murders, even wearing gloves when he entered a grocery store, according to a friend of one of the police officers assigned to follow him there. He's not stupid and has been very careful, the anonymous source said. While Koberger was under surveillance in Pennsylvania, according to the source, police witnessed him appearing to try and avoid leaving any more DNA or fingerprints behind by taking protective measures in public. A good friend of ours was one of the cops who has been following him the last couple days. the source explained, of their connection to the surveillance on Kohlberger in Pennsylvania. So take this with a grain of salt. But this is a screenshot of this anonymous tipster coming forward. Anonymous, please. He was arrested only 40 minutes from our home near our aunt and uncle's. Went to school with my cousins. His sister lives in our town. A good friend of ours was one of the cops who'd been following him the last couple of days. He coaches with my husband and was telling him all the crazy details. He followed him into a Giant, that's a local grocery store, and wore gloves the entire time. He'd been stalking them for weeks, not sure if they ever interacted, but his cell phone pings followed the victim's every move for weeks. So freaking scary and disturbing. I've been so invested in this case the last 6 weeks, and to find out how close he is to us and that one of our friends found him and arrested him is just crazy. So that's, again, take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, I fully expected, not some guy to look like this idiot. He looks harmless. Now, if I had seen someone like Boring Dean, then I would be like, oh, yeah. In a lot of ways, someone did kill these four. And, if it were Boring Dean to do that, do you know how quickly I would rush to every TV camera in the world to talk about how there's a connection between your old pal Eric Zane and Boring Dean? Talk about vindication. If it was Boring Dean, and all this time I've been saying, I don't know, the guy just strikes me as a fucking psychopath and a creep because he follows my every step and comes to my house and bangs on my door and shit like that. And everybody's saying, no, he's just funny. He's hilarious. He's harmless. I'd be like, yeah, fuck you. Okay, it's time to cut through the clutter with all of the information about online betting. MyBookie. That's all you need to know. MyBookie. New year, new you. When I say new you, I mean because you're going to MyBookie. Give yourself a fresh start with MyBookie. Whether you bet to earn, which some people do because they're good at it, or just to have some fun, MyBookie gives you the most for your money with their redesigned deposit bonus. Just use promo code ZANE on a deposit of $50 or more to receive a cash bonus instantly to your MyBookie account. Try it out. MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Using this bonus is simple. Bet your deposit amount just once and you're ready to cash out. It's no strings attached with MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Bet on the NFL, UFC, play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly online blackjack tournaments. You name it, MyBookie has you covered. With so many brands to choose from, you need a platform that makes it simple to bet and win. Like MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
At the Home Depot, we're dedicated to helping you build the skills that get your home projects done right. That's why we offer free and interactive online DIY workshops. During the live streams, our knowledgeable associates help you tackle your DIY projects no matter your age or skill level. You can learn how to install new single-pole switches, as well as standard duplex and GFCI outlets. Register for free at homedepot.com/workshops. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Can you imagine the vindication? I would take the slowest victory lap ever. I would make arrangements, travel arrangements, to go to every single person of that ilk to bang on their door and tell them to suck my dick, if that happened. If it was Dean who did it, I'd go up to Cedar Springs to the homeless shelter where the Schaefers live and tell them to suck my dick. That's what I would do. I would go over to the battered men's shelter where Nick lives in Maine and say, suck my dick. That would be, I'm going to take 1 year off the podcast to go visit all of these pieces of shit and tell them, see, I was right. I was right. Holy shit. Chris says, he murdered those people for the show. Look at all this content. Referring to this dude who's accused of killing the kids, those 4 college students. Kyler writes, hold on, sorry. He's been bullied for his eyebrows since day one. He hid his killer instinct in his eyebrows. What the fuck? Concerning death by one of these horrible ways that we described, Ram says, if you fell into the industrial shredder legs first, you would feel every bone being crushed until it reaches your chest. Yeah, that's rough. That's bad. So that is a caveat. Legs first would be a problem. Same thing with wood chipper. Same thing with airplane. I still say tuna pressure cooker death. It's tough to beat that. If the 12,000 pounds of canned tuna didn't kill you, the 2.5 hours in the pressure cooker while the rest of your coworkers wonder where you are would have to do it. So, all right, Iowa suspect. You know, at the end of the day, though, in all honesty, these 6 kids, there's 4 that were killed. I don't know who is who. I think the lady who's on the shoulders, she is of the deceased, as is the chick who's holding her on her shoulders. The tall dude is Ethan. Look at him. Oh, my God. And then, I don't know. I think the 3 blondes, so there's 4 in this picture. But, I mean, look at all of these people. These 6 beautiful, bright people. What the fuck is going on? What could possibly have happened that would have made this maniac want to do this? And that's always a question that you ask these psychopaths. What is happening there? And why is it that terrible to just float the idea of when we find out who did what and when and why, we just shoot him in the head? What is the big fucking deal about this? I think sometimes we're just too civilized. Little bit more about this. Police were on his tail during the cross-country road trip and continued to follow him back to Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, where he was ultimately apprehended. Now, after earlier, I skipped a paragraph. After the murders, he first returned to teaching at Washington State, but then he drove 2,000 miles from Idaho to Pennsylvania in order to hide out at his parents' Poconos home. He got pulled over twice in Illinois for some reason. I think he was speeding, and then a short time after that, he got pulled over again for following too close to another motorist. According to students in his class, so they've been talking to the students in the class, as he's student teaching. They said, "Oh yeah, I mean, if this is the guy who did it while he was teaching us, he acted like nothing ever happened." Multiple students in the program told Fox Seattle that Koberger did not appear different following the murders. The campus of his school is only a 15-minute drive from where the incident happened. Ben Roberts, a criminology student, told the Fox affiliate that Kohlberger was confident and outgoing, but still appeared as if he was always looking for a way to fit in. More interactions with people that knew him. Kohlberger memorably harassed female staff at 7 Siren Brewing Company near his hometown in northeast Pennsylvania. One of the people told NBC that employees labeled Kohlberger in their system as a guy who makes creepy comments. Boy, who else do you know has done that? And said he once called a staffer a bitch for spurning his advances. This is why you got to take this shit seriously. You know? You never know. So, in my opinion, there is no difference between Kohlberger and Boring Dean based on the facts that I have, because I don't know anything as a fact about Kohlberger. All I know is that people think he was a creep, and I think Dean's a creep. So there you go. Right now, Dean is no different than a man accused of being a serial killer, in my opinion.
When it's time for an adventure on the open highway, one quick call to American Family Insurance gets you headed in the right direction. Our Travel Peace of Mind package is there if you encounter a bump in the road. From roadside assistance to rental car coverage, we have you covered. Find a local agent or get a quote at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.